Hello, I'm Elisabeth Stitt from Joyful Parenting Coaching, where stressed out families get the skills they need to create the happy, harmonious homes they desire and deserve. I come to parenting coaching from 25 years of public school teaching and even more years before that of being a mother's helper and a babysitter and a tutor and a camp counselor. In other words, my whole life has been spent in service to children and in figuring out what works with kids, what is effective and helps them to thrive. In fact, in ninth grade, when we could write about absolutely anything, I wrote a research paper on how to be an effective parent. I don't still have the paper. I can only imagine what it says and how sanctimonious I must have sounded with all of 14 years about what would make an effective parent. But the fact is that I have been fascinated by the question my entire life. And I certainly brought all of that to my teaching to ask, what is effective with kids? What helps kids to feel connected, to feel motivated, to thrive, to want to be their very best selves? And that was always actually my key aim in teaching. I was pretending to teach English, and then what I was really doing was finding out who kids were and who they wanted to be and helping them to broaden their horizons and to imagine who they might be. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the reason to read literature, because then we have characters to exemplify for us either how to be or how not to be. Like choices they make, did that turn out for you? Is that a way you want to be? Is that something you'd like to have in your life? In fact, one of the jokes in my 8th grade classroom became, what would Atticus do? We were all big fans of To Kill a Mockingbird and his basic humanity and his basic justice and the sense of you never really understand a person until you stand in their shoes, until you walk a mile in their shoes. And so when kids were being mean to each other or were something, they're like, is that what Atticus would do? Or what would Atticus say? Which I think is an awfully great way to live your life, asking what would be the noble thing to do here? What would be the mature thing to do here? What would be the choice to make right now that would bring more positivity to the world and be more uplifting? So that's who I am, a teacher, a coach, an advocate for children, an advocate for families, and an advocate for parents. I help parents in a variety of ways. Certainly, I work with them one-on-one. I also have 2 5-week online classes, one for parents of older kids and one for parents of little kids. And I do lots of workshops and webinars and presentations for schools and churches and other places where parents get together and they meet. What makes me really effective at what I do is that I have spent over 50,000 hours with actual children, trying to figure out what's effective, what works. So my bag of tricks is really deep. Most of the parents I work with are actually super well educated and have read a ton on parenting. They have thought a lot about what they should be doing and what is good for their kids. The disconnect often is that they don't speak kid. Well, I do. I speak kid. And that means that I can help parents not only know what to do in theory, but I can help them to know how their voice should sound, how their body should act. Very often it should be nonchalant or laid back or like, with your older kids. And it can be super excited, more excited than you would think to be with your little kids. Helping parents learn what to say, how to say it, how to use their body, how to engage their kids' imagination. All of those are ways in which I am able to help parents translate everything they've heard and read into actual practice in their homes. Parenting is a skill. It can be taught, learned, and practiced. That's why people come to parenting coaches. And that's what I do. My favorite talk to give is 4 challenges modern parents face that keep them feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and guilty about their kids. This is an important talk because it answers for parents the question of, first of all, am I failing? No, you're not failing. Why do I feel like I'm failing? It answers the question of, why am I so tired and so overwhelming? And is parenting really this hard? And I do think that parenting today is harder than it used to be. And in understanding what are the 4 challenges that we face today that previous parents didn't face, for one, it validates us. And it says, there's a reason why parenting is so much harder today. And then in giving the workarounds and how we can meet these challenges, parents feel empowered to take control of their own lives and to not be completely overwhelmed. I also love this talk for grandparents, for bosses, for supervisors, for managers, because if you are an older adult and either your children are long gone and you did your parenting and you think, it wasn't that hard, what is going on with these parents that this is so challenging for them? It helps us get perspective. And if you are an adult who never had children, it helps you to understand, wow, when I go home at night, I face my refrigerator and what Netflix I want to watch. When my colleague goes home at night, she, and mostly I'm talking about moms, but it's true for dads too, she's facing this whole laundry list of things that she feels that she's responsible for. And when she walks back in the next day, she's still carrying that list. Whereas maybe you woke up thinking, oh, what do I want to do for my business today? What project can I move forward? That's probably not her first thought. So it's great for everybody to understand the 4 challenges modern parents face.